King David had everything: a throne, an empire, the favor of God. And yet, he was on his face, on the cold stone floor of his palace, begging. He didn't beg for gold. He didn't beg for victory in battle. He begged for a plant. "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Psalm 51, verse 7. The most desperate prayer a king ever prayed, and at the center of it, a small, brushy herb growing wild across the hills of Judea. 3,000 years later, modern science just confirmed what David knew in his bones. Today, you're going to learn why this plant was the most sacred cleansing tool in Scripture, what it actually does to the human body, and exactly how to use it yourself. In spiritual circles, we call hyssop the purifier, not because it smells clean, because in the biblical world, hyssop wasn't just an herb you cooked with, it was the tool of passage, the instrument of crossing over. Let me show you 3 moments it appears in Scripture, and you'll see why David's plea makes sense. First, the Passover. Exodus 12. Moses tells every Hebrew family to take a bundle of hyssop, dip it in the blood of the lamb, and strike it across their doorposts. That night, death passes through Egypt, but it passes over every door marked with hyssop. Hyssop was the brush that painted the line between life and death. Second, the cleansing of the leper. Leviticus 14. When someone was healed of leprosy, the priest didn't just declare them clean. He took hyssop, dipped it in sacred water, mixed with the blood of a bird, and sprinkled the healed person 7 times. Hyssop was the instrument that moved someone from outcast to included, from unclean to whole. Third, the temple itself. Numbers 19. When someone touched a dead body, they were spiritually contaminated, cut off from the sanctuary. The purification ritual? Hyssop, dipped in water mixed with the ashes of a red heifer, sprinkled on the 3rd day and the 7th day. Hyssop was the bridge back to God. So now you understand what David was really saying. Purge me with hyssop wasn't about washing dirt off his skin. He had committed adultery with Bathsheba, arranged her husband's death, and sat on his throne pretending nothing happened. When the prophet Nathan confronted him, David shattered, and the word he reached for, the plant he named, was the same plant used to mark the doorposts when death was coming. The same plant used to restore lepers to community. The same plant used to bring the defiled back into the presence of God. He wasn't asking for a bath. He was asking to cross over. Now here's where this gets extraordinary. Because for most of history, people assumed this was symbolic, beautiful poetry, a metaphor. Then, researchers started analyzing hyssop's chemical compounds. Hyssop contains merubian, a bitter diterpene that stimulates the lungs to expel mucus. It contains thymol and carvacrol, the same antimicrobial compounds found in thyme and oregano. It contains rosmarinic acid, a potent anti-inflammatory also found in rosemary. This is not symbolic. When the priests sprinkled hyssop water on a leper, they were applying an antimicrobial agent to damaged skin. When hyssop was burned as temple incense, it was releasing volatile compounds that actually purify the air. When David asked to be purged with hyssop, the plant's chemistry literally cleanses the respiratory system, the digestive tract, the bloodstream. The same plant used to cleanse the soul in Scripture also cleanses the body. This is the pattern we see over and over with biblical healing plants. The ancient world didn't have microscopes, but they had something we've largely lost: the ability to read the language of plants through prayer, observation, and generations of sacred practice. They knew hyssop worked. They just described it in the language of spirit rather than the language of science. Both are true. You don't need a temple. You don't need a priest. Here's exactly how to work with hyssop in your own home. 3 methods, from simplest to most ceremonial. 1. Hyssop tea, the daily cleanse. You'll need dried hyssop leaves, available at most herbal shops or online. Steep 1 teaspoon in hot water for 10 minutes. Cover the cup. You want to trap the volatile oils. They're part of the medicine. The taste is slightly bitter, a little minty. You can add honey. Drink it slowly. And as you drink, this matters, set an intention. David didn't just consume hyssop. He prayed through it. Purge me, wash me. You're not just drinking tea. You're participating in a 3,000-year-old ritual of purification. 2. Hyssop steam, the respiratory cleanse. For congestion, sinus pressure, or when you feel spiritually stagnant, add a handful of fresh or dried hyssop to a bowl of steaming water. Lean over it, cover your head with a towel. Breathe deeply for 5 to 10 minutes. The steam carries thymol and carvacrol directly into your respiratory system. Your lungs open, your sinuses clear. And energetically, steam has always been a vehicle for purification across traditions. 3. The hyssop bundle, the sacred placement. This is the simplest but most overlooked practice. Take a small bundle of dried hyssop. Place it on your windowsill, your desk, or wherever you pray and meditate. It doesn't overwhelm a room. It quietly supports clarity and spiritual cleanliness, the same way it functioned in the temple. When you see it, you remember. Purge me with hyssop. You remember that crossing over from spiritual weight to spiritual freedom is not abstract. It's available. It always has been. Here's what I want you to sit with. David didn't beg for hyssop because he thought a plant could erase what he'd done. He begged because he understood something most of us forget. Purification is not punishment, it's passage. The hyssop on the doorpost didn't stop death from existing. It marked the ones who would be passed over. The hyssop the priest used on the leper didn't undo the disease. It marked the moment the outcast became whole. The hyssop David begged for didn't erase his sins from history. It marked the moment he was willing to be made clean. Hyssop is not a magic plant. It's a marker, a threshold, a witness. When you steep it in water and drink it, you're not just consuming an herb. You're stepping into the same ritual that carried slaves through the Red Sea, lepers back into community, and a broken king back into the presence of his God. This is what biblical healing plants offer that no supplement aisle can replicate. They carry story, they carry meaning. They carry the weight of thousands of years of people just like you, seeking cleansing, seeking passage, seeking to be made whole. Psalm 51's secret healing plant is still working. It has been working for 3,000 years. It's working right now, in tea shops and kitchens and prayer corners all over the world, wherever someone is ready to cross over from what they've carried too long into what they're being called to become. If you're ready to go deeper into the sacred plants of Scripture, hyssop is just the beginning. Frankincense, myrrh, cedar of Lebanon, the 12 plants of the temple incense. Every one of them holds healing that science is only beginning to understand. Subscribe to Enlightenment Gateway. Comment hyssop below. If this plant is new to you, or if you've been working with it for years, I want to hear your experience. And click the playlist on screen right now, Biblical and Sacred Plants, because the next video drops Saturday,